Welcome to the interview portion of the Spotlight. This is our creator Spotlight. I, of course, am Steven Jensen, joined as always with Jeremy Lambert. And today, our guest is the former longtime action wrestling champion, the former Southern Underground Pro Bone Storm champion, the 2021 SCI tournament winner. He hails from the SWATs of Atlanta, Georgia, and he is your new, current, reigning, and defending IWTV Independent Wrestling World Champion. He is the Mack of all trades, AC Mack. Thank you for joining us, man. How are you and Iris doing today?
Man, we are doing just well. We're on top of the world. On top of the world. It's been over a week now, and my phone notifications are still going off. People are hitting me up about bookings, podcasts, just everything out the wazoo. So it's been dope. I feel very loved. So it's the first time I've ever had to put my phone on do not disturb just to go to sleep. So that's interesting.
Man, I love to hear it. And the big news, of course, with you right now is winning that IWTV World Championship. And I'm super happy for you, man. I've followed your career for quite a long time now. I've been in the building there at the Basement East, watching you do your thing in Nashville, Tyrone, Georgia for Action Wrestling. I'm good buddies with Jumpin' Johnny Mosley, who does a lot of the commentary around the Southeast.
Right.
And so I'm very much have followed this journey, the SCI Rumble victory, all the Scenic City tournaments. I've followed this for years now, and to have you win that title, especially in Tyrone, Georgia, which is that's your building, that's your crowd, your people out there. How did it feel not just winning the IWTV title, but it all happened there, which had to have made it extra special?
Yes, it made it extra special. I was beyond nervous. That whole week I was just freaking out and having little mini attacks, but it felt great. They planned to where we had to double down and everybody would rush the ring and support. I knew we had that planned, but I forgot, if that makes sense. So when it happened, it we're all tired. I'm still nervous even in the ring, and it just kind of gave me a jolt of energy. So it felt great. It felt like a birthday party. It felt like everybody was there to help celebrate you. And it was a big moment. A lot of people were able to put their egos aside and put matches on the card. So it was cool for the South to band together and do something cool like that. I'm very proud of it. It's an historic moment, and it's definitely the biggest moment of my career so far. So it felt amazing.
I gotta say, Steven Jensen, he's like, I gotta do the introduction because he has a certain way that he does the introduction. And I hope Jensen can be brought along with you everywhere to do this intro for you, because I thought he did a tremendous job with the intro there.
Not like he does though. This is part of what makes AC Mack so great, is as great as he is in the ring, he's an even better talker in my opinion. And he comes out there and he do you give the refs a heads up, by the way, that they're going to be holding that title belt over their head for 5 minutes while you're but no, that's part of what's so great about what you do, man, is you come out and you get the crowd to either love you or hate you on the microphone before the match even starts. And I think that's a big part of what you do. Hey, I'll take the compliment, Jeremy, doing the intro there, but I don't even do it justice the way that he does it.
Yeah, I do talk to the ref beforehand, and the announcers too. If I go somewhere new, they have to do their job and go around and get everybody's information. And I'm not a dick about it. I'll let them know before, if they don't know already, So I'm a nice guy in real life, believe it or not.
You mentioned that you said this in the pre-match promo, and then you mentioned it here, everybody kind of coming together to get this match to happen. How much of a struggle was it to put this together? Because you also, in your post-match promo, you mentioned Beyond and Drew. It seemed like there was, and then you guys have had your Twitter beef with each other that I've seen.
Yeah.
How much of a struggle was it to really get this match with Alex Shelley for this title together at this venue in this event?
Well, to put the matches together for the card, or to get everybody on board, that actually wasn't a struggle, believe it or not. But to have the match with Alex Shelley and to have it here in the South, that was the biggest struggle. As you can see, I won, the SCI in August, and I didn't get the title shot until a few weeks ago here in January. So it took a minute. It took a minute for whatever reason. They didn't want that championship defended down here, probably because they knew this was going to happen. But yeah, it was a huge struggle, and it took me calling IWTV out. It took me calling Jerry out on every live show I could get on. Anytime I had a mic and was with IWTV, I let them know that, hey, I'm still here. I'm still waiting. I didn't get my shot yet. So it was a struggle. We here now though, but it was a struggle.
Yeah, especially like down here in the South, some names I wanted to get just kind of some thoughts on from you. Just kind of like a word or two, or like anything you'd like to say about these three people. I was interested in, especially with you talking about the things that it takes to get things like this to happen really in the South, or, get everyone together and the titles and how all that gets worked out. Matt Griffin, Scott Hensley, and Dylan Hales. Those are three names that I'd kind of like to get your opinion on.
That is a team that believed in me, years ago. I think the first time I went to a Scenic City event was the Rumble in 2017, I want to say. And ironically, I was only in it for like 17 seconds. But
was that the one where you won? You were the last entrant into the match? And
no, I'm talking about maybe a year or two before, maybe 2 years before that.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
I'm getting the years mixed up, but that was the first time. And, I rocked with them, and they kept saying like, we got you. I didn't know that I was the long-term play. I just kind of kept seeing things, and if it didn't go my way, I'd say something, and they'd be like, no, we got you. We rocking with you. You are the long play. That's what they kept saying. And they believed in me. They kept making sure I was good. Wrestlers, we have our down moments. Everybody's not always chipper. It can get pretty dark. And in those moments, they were kind of reminding me, like, we're working on this. We're talking with IWTV. We're really working. You are the long play, so stick with us. I trust them. They've acted as my counselors, my agents, my motivators. I can't say. I don't know. They really believed in me. That's the first thing I can think of. So I really do appreciate it, because they saw something in me more than I did at the time. I know they pitched IWTV to me a while back when it was Powerbomb TV.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what the vision was. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, we hit a wrestle. Yeah, I'll let y'all handle whatever you're talking about. But I didn't realize what it could become. I didn't realize what it was going to be. So it's just funny looking back at it. They definitely believed in that vision, and I trusted them. And look, we're here now.
What are your plans for the title? Because it's been defended all over, and there's been the beef with the Northeast and everything. So what are your plans for the title moving forward?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Northeast, because, I want to make a statement to them. I want them to know that, you're no longer overlooking us. This championship is only going to be defended in the Southeast, only in the South. So they're going to have to go without a championship for a while, because I'm not letting this go. We've got some big things coming up. I'm really, really excited. I can't speak on too much now, but we've got stuff planned out until about August, about for different shows, festivals, and things like that. So we're going to have some fun. And I'm looking forward to IWTV putting more of a spotlight on Southern wrestlers. Because there's a slew of us down here, and a lot of the big names that you hear about, a lot of them come from the South, and a lot of people don't know that, because they're on a national scale, which is dope. But we do need to give credit where credit is due, and the South is breeding a lot of good talent, and so that's what I want this reign to be. I want people to look back on this and be like, dang, he put the whole region on his back.
Dude, I love that so much because, you know, I lived in Nashville for like 10 years. I relocated to Atlanta recently. So, like, I'm very into SUP, SCI, and Action. Like, those are like my three main indies in this area. And you're very, very heavily featured, obviously, across the board. And it's really cool to have that down here. Kind of these like brother and sister promotions with one another where you get to see. It's the best. It's the best. Yeah. And, you know, you made history by winning your championship, and you cut some of the best promos I've ever heard in wrestling that night, man. And I really, honestly, like the speech that you gave after winning the IWTV title, I thought was absolutely incredible. I've been telling anyone that wants to hear my opinion on wrestling, I'm saying, go watch Southeast First on IWTV.
Oh my
gosh. The show from start to finish was fire. I mean, the crowd was hot as hell. You weren't leaving that building without that title. Like, those people had your back to the point where, like, it would have been very, very, very upsetting if you did not win that match.
Sign? If Mack loses, we riot.
Yeah, yes. Which was like
came out.
yes. And that's the truth. I mean, and you mentioned it before. Everyone from the back, you know, came out, they're all beating on the ring apron, and the crowd's going crazy throughout the match. And then you win. The 1, 2, 3 happens, the crowd goes nuts. And then you cut this speech, and I guess what is the response been since, you know, talking about being openly gay and being the champion and representation for not just LGBTQ plus, but also being African American? I mean, this is something that I think is really big for representation in a lot of ways in wrestling.
So I don't even know how to describe it. It's bigger than what I even thought of. So I the match happened Friday, and I think we did the research and found out that Wednesday that, oh shit, we're about to do this. It's about to be a thing. But it wasn't until the feedback afterwards to where I have the Gay Times hit me up on Instagram. Another publishing company over in the UK hit me up, and they want to set up a shoot here. A few of the gay dating sites shouted me out on Twitter. Like, it is blowing my mind that they would even know that this happened. So that's been huge. And with the support, even from the African American community as well, especially on Twitter, it's like, you know, you get pulled in both directions, but it's really, really cool to be able to put on for so many different communities all at once, you know, the gay community, the African American community, the Southern community, and then just the wrestling community as a whole. You know, it's a little jolt in history, and I think it's a good thing.
Do you feel like any more pressure or weight knowing that you are representing so many communities?
Yeah. Almost to an unhealthy degree, just the nerves and the anxiety and stuff like that. But I've been trying to manage it. I speak to my friends a lot. My new boyfriend, you know, he helps a lot with that. My family. It just comes with the territory when you care about something so much, and now you have this responsibility and you want everything to go as great as it possibly can. You know, you worry about things like that. It's natural. It's normal. You know, it's not. What am I trying to say? It comes with the territory, but that pressure is definitely there. I do want to make that part known. Yes.
Well, I can vouch for something you said a little earlier. You said, "Hey, I'm actually a really nice guy. If you come up and you want to meet me, I'm a really nice guy." And I can vouch for that because I've talked about this before on like various platforms. But like the first time I met MJF, for instance, like outside of like at a wrestling event, but like this happened, no one else was around. It was just me and him pretty much in a room, and I like went to shake his hand, and he like left me hanging and like told me to go F myself, and there was no one else around. And I was like, wait a second, like this guy is serious? Like he's actually just this mean? Like, and then I realized he was doing it to other people, and I was like, oh, this guy's actually a genius. Like I can't believe what he's doing. But I
believe it too with him. If you would have told me that about other people, I'd be like, that's a little much. But with MJF, it makes sense.
And with you, I kind of like was almost afraid because I was like, because I've talked to you at like the Basement East before, and I remember just kind of in passing, and me being like, I'm gonna say hi to AC Mack. I hope he isn't anything like what I see when he's talking his trash, you know, before he whacks someone in the head with a steel chair. What's that? No. This was I would usually, so at the Basement East, I kind of hang around and do some interviews and stuff sometimes before the show. So I'd be kind of there when they're getting the ring set up and whatnot. And I remember you just kind of like walking in, and I was just like said hello or something, and you were just like super nice. You were like, "Oh, hey man, thanks for coming out and supporting the show. Like, really happy to be here today." And like, it wasn't an interview or anything. It was just like saying hello before the show. And I remember being like, dude, this was nothing like beating MJF. Like AC Mack can turn the switch on and off. Like he's so I tried to like kind of kayfabe it for a while and like not tell people like he's actually a really nice guy. But then like now that you're getting to do more stuff as kind of a good guy or babyface in wrestling, you get to show that more, kind of on screen. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like if you meet AC Mack in person, even if he's a total jerk on the show, he'll be very nice to you, like when you go up and meet him.
I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty chill, man. I had a few people tell me that too. They're like, "Oh, you're not like your character. I thought you'd be a lot more, not mean, but just like they thought I would be like bigger, I guess, behind the scenes." And I'm like, no, I'm the exact opposite. I would rather just chill and go to the movies all day, man. I'm not. I leave all that out there, man.
You mentioned the ups and downs of a wrestler, really just any person in general, not just wrestling. Now this new pressure. What are some of the things you mentioned the support that you have from your new boyfriend and others in the southern part in wrestling? Like anything else that you do to kind of like really take care of your mental health, because it's a big topic in life, but I'm always interested in that, what other people kind of do to really take care of themselves in that regard, because it's extremely, extremely important, especially nowadays with everything going on.
And I feel like it's getting worse. I don't know if it's social media or what, but like, I feel like it's for the people who already have it. I feel like it's getting stronger or worse, like I said. And the people who haven't had it before or never experienced it, I think they're just starting to now. It's starting to seep into them. And I don't know, it sucks. But some of the things I do, I listen to music. Very, very big music guy. I mentioned going to the movies. I do that a lot. I love movies, and I love going to the theaters alone. I know that's weird, but I'd rather go and see like 2 or 3 movies. I have like a movie subscription deal where you just unlimited go, and you just go whenever. I'm obsessed with movie popcorn. I like being in that zone. I like being in that environment. And in the new Matrix movie, they have this quote that says, "Nothing kills anxiety more than a little bit of nostalgia." And I agree with that. Like watching old TV shows that you grew up with, or like connecting with old friends. I'm still cool with my high school friends. I try to make the Taco Tuesday every week. But like, I know when I have like big matches coming up, or if I'm super, super nervous, I love being around them because they just remind me of home. They remind me of something familiar. They're my biggest cheerleaders. So any kind of doubt that I may have, they make sure they did that real quick. But yeah, it's just a lot of love with the friends, with families, with the boyfriend. Like, it's just a lot of love. I think that helps a lot. And just being reminded that, you are somebody special to somebody, something special to somebody. You know what I'm trying to say? Something like that. So just those little small reminders. That's what does it. Excuse me. That's what does it for me. The little small things.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But I think that's really good advice about the nostalgia, because I know that, like, without really thinking about that, I do that all the time when I'm feeling down. I watch something that I liked when I was a kid, or hang out with like my buddies from back in the day. Yeah, for sure.
Some like old songs that like unlock old memories that were really not, they put you in a good space. So I do a lot of that. Yeah,
I love that. Another question I had kind of along the same lines is, being loved or hated as a wrestler. Do you have any preference on
heel
being okay? So I assume that was the case. Is that because of the freedom and all the things you get to do and say, or is it easier on you in the ring? I only ask that because your style differentiates quite a bit. Like as a heel, it's a lot of like getting your butt kicked and then like kicking someone in the nuts and then rolling them up or hitting the Mack 10. As a baby face, like you're like working full matches, like back and forth, and it's a bit different of a style, I feel like. So I just wanted your opinion on that.
Honestly, all of that is correct. So as a heel, you have more freedom. As a heel, you're not, I don't want to say working as hard, but you're right. Like normally it's the baby face that's getting the flashier moves and the flashier spots normally. So it is kind of an easier load there. And on top of that, for me specifically, with the character, the whole AC Mack bravado, for me, I just think it's easier to jump into that as a heel. They always say, you know, you can do the same thing as a face and blah, blah, blah. It's true, but it's a different vehicle for me. It's a little bit more raw as a heel. It's the stronger facials, I think. You kind of sit in moments a little bit more. And I enjoy that. It's like a cinematic kind of performance. And with me loving movies so much, I lean towards that a little bit more. Yeah. Sure.
And I guess that kind of leads me to my next question. And it was one of the first things I thought of when you won the title, the IWTV title at Action, was, well, are we going to see kind of like a Bret Hart type scenario where you're a massive babyface in the South, but you're a heel everywhere else?
Yeah. And that's what we're going for.
Okay.
That's what we're going for. And I love it because even though I do have a preference, it is going to be cool kind of playing the, you know, going back and forth and knowing something, you know, everything isn't going to be the same. Like I have a title defense this Friday and I'm heel just because of the storyline in that specific venue. And I'm going to go up north for something I can't say yet, but I'm going to be heel there and I come back down, I'm a face. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It makes it interesting for the promos we can cut, for the stories we can have. So I'm looking forward to it. Definitely prefer heel, but I like you said, this Bret Hart thing. I like the ping pong. So
I'm excited as a fan. Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Any name out there that you want to step in the ring with and defend this title against? Because you look at some of the title holders who have had this thing. Orange Cassidy, Alex Shelley just had it, Wheeler Yuta, and who they defended it against. Like this thing is in traction, and you kind of pick your opponents here.
Oh, so many people. Oh my gosh. O'Shea Edwards. Yeah. I've known him for so long. Believe it or not, we have never had a one-on-one match. Darius Lockhart. Anthony Henry again. We had a great match. I would love to run it back with the championship on the line in the South, of course. I'm a really big fan of Don't Doubt Miles. I like him. I feel like him and me as like a hot heel. Like, oh God, it's so easy to sell itself. Trisha Dora, Darius Carter. Who else? There's so many. I'm trying to name everybody. I wish Brett Eisen was still here. We run it back. I know I've worked him so many times, but it's just always a good time. John Davis, JD Drake, Mikowski. I know he on the list. I know he's been a top contender for a minute, and I'm a fair guy. I'll give you the shot. You just got to come down here for it. You got to get on that flight. Who else? There's so many people. Dang. I'm trying to get some more.
I mean, it's a heck of a list. Like I love everyone you're mentioning right now. Another name
that
comes
more too. I promise, guys.
Another name that comes to mind. I've been saying since last year. Now I don't know if you'll be involved in the 2022 SCI tournament. I'm hoping you are. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like this is going to be a big year for Jaden Newman, he's been around for a while, but like he's really blowing up more recently. He's another guy I'd like to see kind of in that mix, possibly in the IWTV title mix. I love you mentioning Brett Eisen too. I'm hoping he's back sometime soon. I know he's taking some time off right now, but y'all got some unfinished business at SUP as well.
Right. And actually, at SUP is where I want to face O'Shea.
Yep.
That was I don't want to say my first time seeing him in that light, but just like watching him make his entrance in that building with that 50 Cent song, it was something special. It was very, I'm going to use the word again, cinematic, man. It hyped me up. I was excited. There's some more names up north too I'm forgetting, but yes. I love that you mentioned Jaden too. He has so much heart. And you're right. He is on the come up, and when his moment hits, it's gonna be beautiful. Probably even bigger than mine, just because of how long his journey has been. He's been wrestling longer than I have, and he's got so much history right there in Chattanooga with TWE and the SCI as a whole, and how much he helps out and how much him and his entire family supports that movement. I want nothing but the absolute best for him. So when that happens, it's gonna be big, and I hope I'm there for it. I hope I get to see it and witness it with my own eyes.
You mentioned music and television, or music and movies help you out with the mental health and everything. Some favorite artists and favorite songs that pull you out of a bad state, put you in a good state. And the movies, you mentioned The Matrix, but other movies that maybe one, do put you in a good state, but two, you mentioned that sometimes you'll take from movies and they'll help you with like facial expressions and stuff. Any movies that you sort of studied and be like, hey, this has helped me with my wrestling and my character work?
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna do that part last because that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. But as far as music goes, I was born in '92, and so anything between like 2000 and like 2006ish is like what I consider like my childhood, when I'm like conscious and know what's going on. So like some Missy Elliott, some T.I., a little bit of Outkast. They were kind of winding down towards that time. Nelly, if I didn't say him already, I feel like I just did.
I felt a favorite Nelly track.
Favorite Nelly track? Oh my God.
Just one.
And it's on the Dilemma. It's on the not the what's it called? Nellyville album. I have to get back to you on that. I don't know. That's I can look at the track list again. But who else? Chinky.
Chinky. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
so Lil Jon and Eastside Boys, like the Southern rap scene, like around that time, like a lot of that just reminds me of like late elementary school, late elementary school and middle school, and just going to the skating ring and just not having a care in the world and just having a good childhood. So
for you, was that Sparkles skating ring?
No, Cascade down here.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
a little bit more south, but yeah, just like the movie ATL with T.I., we were all at Cascade. That's where I met Sierra. It was dope. It was a lot of good memories. So stuff like that, just being reminded of that, just kind of puts me at ease. It reminds me of home, so that helps. And as far as movies with facial expressions, I don't have not necessarily facial expressions, but The Matrix is my favorite movie of all time. And just the way they carried themselves, everything was very like precise and like cyberpunk with the clothing. I thought that was dope. As far as expressions go, I would say maybe Game of Thrones. I know it's not a movie, but
not the last season.
Yeah.
Not the last
I didn't mind
season,
it. Everybody hated it.
Oh no.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. It was, and I like how everything is such a slow show, but like in the best way possible. They make the most out of every moment. So I take a lot from them. I want another example though. Facials. Damn it. I do know, like, I'm very big on like mannerisms too. So like, I know The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. Everybody talks about like how great of a performance it was. It was, and but nobody mentions he does like this when he talks. It's like a knacking sound with his teeth. He like kind of does that, and it's something so small, but like that's what I think about when I think of that character. So when I'm in the ring and I'm reacting to certain things, I try to be mindful of not just your facials, but your mannerisms as well. So if I'm nervous or if I'm like getting desperate, like, what would you do? And everybody doesn't have the same, which I think is really cool. So I like seeing like little stuff like that. That's a make or break for me.
So that's some of your favorite movies and music. What about wrestling? Like your favorite matches? Like as a fan, what are some of your favorite matches? Yeah.
So as a fan, I love elimination style matches. I love matches where it's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different characters, and a lot of different stories intertwining. So my favorite match of all time is the winner take all match from Survivor Series in 2001.
Okay.
The Elimination Chamber match from 2005, New Year's Revolution or Resolution, the one where Triple H won, and he like tried to save Batista in this
Batista story. Yeah.
I love that. I'm trying to think of more. It's probably gonna be like Rumbles and stuff. I like it. The Survivor Series match from 2016 with AJ and all that, and I think it went like an hour long, and it was right before the first Goldberg Brock Lesnar match at that Survivor Series. So that one, I just like a lot of moving parts. I'm very big on story, very, very big on story, to the point where I'll almost sacrifice how good the match is. It doesn't even matter because of the story. That's kind of how I am. What are some other ones? I'm a big Rock guy. The Rock's my favorite wrestler of all time. So anything he did, the Hell in a Cell, the Armageddon Hell in a Cell with 6 of them. Yeah. Just ridiculous, but like I love that. Just throw them all in there and see what happens.
Well, it kind of makes sense too, because like I mean, I gotta imagine that you love doing SCI, like the finals of that tournament being elimination style, and like the stories you can tell with 3 other wrestlers. I mean, like it really shows.
Like putting it together, but other than that, yes, you're right.
Speaking on that, like, what would be some of your favorite matches as a fan? I mean, I'm sure the match with Alex Shelley, that's got to be way up there. But what are some? Or sorry, not as a fan, but as an actual wrestler, what are some of your favorites that you've had?
Oh, we had obviously the Shelley one, yes. Yeah. I had one with Kurt Stallion in the Action Building. That was great. I had one with Jake Atlas up in New York. That was really good. I had one with Theory. The very first time I ever main evented Action. We've wrestled a billion times, but that one was something special. We went over time by like 10, 12 minutes, but it was such a good match. I'm glad it came out the way it did. I had at the WWA 4, every year there was like a tradition to have a New Year's show. And I had a storyline with this wrestler named David Ali. And at the time, we were at the new building and we didn't have insurance for the building, so nobody could really do like hardcore matches. But we had such a big rivalry, and I was like, we got to do something. Like, what if we make it to where the fans have to film it? Fans bring the camera kind of deal, and it's a last man standing match. We don't film it, so we don't have any kind of official footage in case there's an issue with the insurance. But the fans were filming it, so it'd be like one of those World Star fight videos, but like a full match. And we didn't call anything but the finish. And usually I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a call it on the fly guy. I hate that. But it was just so much fun. Me and David started at the same time, so we really, really knew each other, and we trusted each other. And it was in this warehouse, standing room only. Nobody's ever going to see it, but it was so much fun. I'm trying to think of some more. I had one at Center Stage with Davari that I was really, really nervous about, but that actually been one of my best matches, actually. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, those are a few. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna think of more tonight, but those are a few.
AC Mack, let the people know where they can find you at.
Yeah, so I am AC Mack everywhere, either AC-Mack or AC_Mack. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pro Wrestling Tees, whatamaneuver.net. PSN if you're a gamer, Facebook, Tumblr if that's still your thing. Everywhere that you can search for anything, I'm AC Mack. Even on LinkedIn, all of that. So
I appreciate you joining us. Jensen, closing comments? You want to give a big outro?
No, I don't have a big outro. I can't do that justice. But I will say is this: AC Mack, like I'm a big fan, man, and I've followed the journey for a while, and I'm really, really happy to see where you're at right now. I can't wait to see what's in the future. I love IWTV. I love all these companies we're talking about, and I can't wait to see you do your thing, defending that title and representing for us down here in the Southeast, because we have been putting on great shows down here. Or I say
long.
As a fan, I've been attending great shows and watching great shows. It finally feels like the Southeast has finally arrived in the scene, and you're a big part of that. So thank you so much, man.
Good. Thank you so much. I'm glad to help. I'm glad to be able to help with that.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Everyone, if you haven't seen it already, we talked about it last week on the show. You just heard from the man himself. Go check out AC Mack winning the IWTV World Heavyweight title against Alex Shelley. Check out that entire show from Southeast. Thank you again for doing this, AC Mack. Everyone, we will talk to y'all.